anything I can do, sir, please. Don't do this to my wife, man. You don't know what you're doing to my family, man. Please. I'm begging you. I'm literally where am I going to put my feet? Sir, I'm begging you, please. Please. Please.
That is not a crime, and you're telling me to get out of my vehicle.
Do you know where Lieutenant Mingus is right now? So, no, he's not in the building?
I don't know. I'm not.
What do you know? I'm not telling you nothing else until I find out who's driving that vehicle. You not a supervisor, bro. I need somebody higher than you right now.
If you didn't know, I went to the police academy and they kicked me out.
That's my purse! I don't know you!
Spit me on my face right now. She spit in my face.
Today's video takes us to Cortland, New York, where we find the Long Island Frauditors with his knickers in a twist because of a sign that's hanging on the wall. Oh, dearie me. Let's all sit back, watch, have a good laugh, and most of all, enjoy.
Today we're at the Cortland County Office Building here in Cortland, New York. We're here today, as always, to peacefully exercise our First Amendment right to film in public and publicly accessible areas, to promote transparency and accountability within our government, and to ensure that our public servants recognize our rights and treat us with respect.
A few minutes later,
County Administration Office. And right here is the infamous sign. Everybody is welcome except First Amendment auditors. I drove 6 hours to see this sign.
Now this proves what I've said all along. Frauditors have nothing better to do. Sean drove 6 hours because he was butthurt over this sign. What does that tell you?
Hi, sir. How are you?
Okay. What can I do for you?
Are you the county administrator, sir?
Yes, I am.
And your name?
Rob?
Rob Kapora?
Yes.
Mr. Kapora, I just had a quick question for you if you had time.
Certainly.
Sure, Mr. Kapora. So, I was watching a video online and I saw that this sign was here in your office. Everyone is welcome except First Amendment auditors. What does that mean?
It means that anybody is welcome here. First Amendment auditors, I don't know if that's what you're doing or not, have been very disruptive to county employees and the services that they're trying to provide to the public.
Do you have any specific behavior that First Amendment auditors are engaging in that would be disruptive?
You should know the answer to that question, Sean, better than anybody. How many times have you been kicked out, asked to leave, or flat out trespassed? How many times have you had those handcuffs around your wrist? Sean, you know the answer to that question. Shut your mouth.
Is it just the filming like I'm doing now? Is it just the recording, excuse me, that I'm doing now?
Not necessarily just the recording, just trying to, the one that was here, trying to get into areas that they really have no.
Well, when he was here, the sign was already there because you could see it in his video. So when he was here, the sign was already here. So did you have prior experience with any First Amendment auditors, sir?
Not directly, no.
Not directly. So just based on videos you've seen online.
Based on videos that they've done, and talking with the people of the videos that they have taken, and the fact that not everything that was said was put into the videos. They cut out certain parts.
Well, pardon me, sir, but that's what frauditors do. They're not going to make themselves look bad. Now, my job, on the other hand, is to make frauditors look like clowns, which really isn't that difficult because they already are clowns. I just have to cut and paste a little bit here and there, and everything's all finished.
So these are things that you've seen online. So you watch First Amendment audit videos?
I've watched one or two.
You watch one or two.
I don't waste my time with them.
So do you think that if I, for example, do you think it would be fair if somebody said, you know, everyone's welcome except county administrators, right? Because of the ignorance that you displayed in portraying that and putting that sign up in your government office here, the people's office, do you think that that would be fair just because we have one bad county administrator that we should just not, we should take it out on all county administrators in New York or in the country? Do you think that would be fair to judge a group of people based on some videos you've seen online of certain individuals? I do call myself a First Amendment auditor. I'm an independent journalist. I go by a lot of different titles. activist.
Oh, yes, indeed. Sean has a plethora of titles, none of which we can use here on YouTube if we want to stay monetized, though. Isn't that right, Professor? Yeah, let's carry on.
Is the legislator here in Cortland County aware of the sign that you've posted on the people's office here?
I'm sure they are.
They're aware of the sign?
Yes.
And you personally, Mr. County Administrator, you think that it's an appropriate sign to have in your office?
It was put up as a joke.
It was put up before you even had any interaction, sir, with any type of First Amendment auditor. So that's why I find it a little bit disingenuous. You've never had an interaction with the First Amendment auditor before, and yet you put up that sign. So it seems that you've watched a couple videos online, you formulated an opinion.
Yeah, I'll tell you something, Sean. If he watched any of your videos, he certainly had a strong opinion. Anybody would. Yeah, because I can keep putting these thumbnails up all day long, man. You are not a good guy, Sean. Just go ahead and admit it, sweetheart.
Exactly. So why would you automatically... Am I not welcome in this office?
As long as you're...
Just because I'm here doesn't mean I'm welcome. Am I welcomed in this office, sir, as a First Amendment auditor?
You're welcome in this office,
But,
yes.
so would you take down that sign?
No, I will not.
Why won't you take down the sign, sir?
Because there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, it was put up as a pun on...
It's a very disrespectful sign, sir. It's disrespectful to people who are trying to fight for our rights and make sure that the government is respecting our rights.
Mhm.
And you, arbitrarily, as a county administrator, did you get approval by anybody?
No, I did not.
You just put the sign up just because you watched a couple videos online, so you wanted it to be funny. You said as like a joke.
Well, you have to admit, Sean, you are a joke. Yeah, everywhere you go, you've been kicked out recently. I guess your First Amendment auditing is not going so well, huh, boy? Well, maybe one day you'll go get that warehouse job and go back to work.
You're saying First Amendment auditors aren't welcome in this building, which is not even your building.
No.
But that's what the sign says. In this office. Okay, in this office. This is not your office, sir. Respectfully, this is not your office. This is not your office. This office was given to you by the people, albeit indirectly through the county legislator here, but it was given to you by the people. Does the county legislator know? I don't know if you answered this question about that sign that you have in your office, sir, in the people's office,
In my office all the time.
and they see it.
Whether they look at it or not, I can't say. But it's up. Just like it was up when I was standing next to it in the last time
A First Amendment auditor?
Dan was here.
Dan, correct. So you have no, so you're not going to take down the sign whatsoever. You have no, you won't take down the sign in the spirit of...
Sean, how many times you gonna ask the man? He said no once. How many more times you want to ask him? Get out the man's office and let him go back to work. And you go do your work too, Sean. Got to drive 6 hours home. Boy, that's a long drive.
Again, sir, I'm trying to give you the opportunity to help bridge the gap. Again, you might not like First Amendment auditors. That's your personal opinion. But in a public office, in the people's office that this is, you might think it's your
I'm a
office.
people too.
Okay, but this is not your home.
I pay
This is not...
taxes in this county, which you do not.
How do you know that? How would you know that?
You own property in Cortland County.
That's relevant. Did I not pay taxes if I stood in a hotel here, if I bought gas
Okay,
here,
yes.
if I supported local businesses while eating here? You don't know any of those things. So my point is that, so that would be paying taxes, correct? So
I'll give you
in some sort of indirect way, but that's paying taxes directly towards the government, stopping for gas, local businesses. I always support local business everywhere I go. But sir, again, it's more than just Cortland County. It's about the people throughout the country.
That's because when someone thinks of a frauditor, they think of a scam artist, a liar, a fake, a phony, somebody who's a grifter. And that fits you perfectly, Sean. Now shut your mouth. Get out of that man's office.
So I'm asking you in a spirit of solidarity with and your personal beliefs put aside, sir, as a government official, as a public servant that serves the public, I'm asking you to take down a sign that would be divisive towards the citizens and people exercising their constitutional rights in this public building. Would you be open to doing that, sir?
I'd be open to consider it, yes.
But I don't understand what that means. Consider it. It's a divisive sign, sir. Would you agree with that? It's a divisive sign?
No, I don't.
You don't agree it's divisive
No.
to single out a group of people and say that they're not welcome in this public building. This is not a private building, sir. This is not your office. This is a public office.
Notice that long silence, Sean, because that man's not interested in what you have to say. You don't even live there, Sean. You're sticking your nose in for clicks and views.
So I'm going to give you an opportunity, sir. I can't force you, and I'm not trying to force you. I want to make that clear. I'm not trying to intimidate you in any type of way. I'm trying to give you the opportunity for the people that watch, that view my content, and from across the country and across the world, sir, that would appreciate it if you took down the sign. Are you willing to do that today or not? No. Okay, sir. Do you have contact information, a card I can have?
I do not have.
You don't have a card?
It's all on the website.
Your contact information's on the website?
Yeah.
Do you have the...
As well as all the legislators
and legislators on the website? Okay, so we will use our other part of the First Amendment to petition our grievances to our government, and hopefully someone who has authority over you will force you to remove the sign, because this is the people's office.
Well, there you have it, folks. Now, I did cut that video up quite a bit, but he whines and he cries and he bellyaches so much. It's all I can do to listen to just a few minutes of this. Oh, it's such nonsense. He's so butthurt over a sign that has nothing to do with him. This is the people's office. This is not your office. Well, you know what, Sean? Maybe you should run for office there in Long Island, and then you can figure it all out, huh? In the meantime, if you enjoy watching stupid people do stupid things on my channel like Sean, please subscribe. As always, thanks so much for stopping by, Sean. Get a real job, boy. Cheers to that.
I've actually studied English, and I have over a 400 level education in English. I'm not sitting down. I refuse to sit down. I refuse. Big tough guy. Big tough guy. Big tough guy. What are you gonna do about it? Nothing. Nothing. You can come try to make me. You're welcome to try to make me. Take a swing. Take a swing.
What is the reason for calling the officers here?
No reason. I'm really unhappy that somebody did this to me.
I'm going to arrest you for trespassing in a minute.
On public property?
Yeah. We're asking you to leave and you're not leaving. That's trespassing.
She's right in my face, guys. You can't come up and touch me like that.
You don't have permission to film me in any space.
I don't need permission to
Yes, you do.
record you in public, man.
Actually,
no, that's the law.
Oh, is that like a law?
Against the law.
Oh, what law is that? Funny, because I've never heard about that. I pay for that uniform, I pay for that car, I'm the taxpayer, right? You work for me, right? You're just a little guy. You're just a little guy. You work for me. You are a public servant. You are a public servant. You work for me.